G'day punters, welcome to the round 5 edition of the Drop Punt. Paul Sebastiani here, joined by Mars as per usual. Good week last week for the best bets. The Swans 1 to 39 didn't come through, but the other two that I advised the punters to back, Footscray plus 28.5 came through, and the Carlton versus Gold Coast game, either team to win by 1 to 15 came through as well. So going 2 from 3. The multi, unfortunately, was unsuccessful, even though we had a few legs get up, but North were able to get up and the Bulldogs were able to cover the line, but Angus Brayshaw wasn't able to get the 30 disposals, and Essendon ended up winning by more than that 1 to 39 margin, unfortunately. But we're back to do it again this week, hopefully bigger and better, and it all kicks off tonight between Brisbane and Collingwood at the Gabba, 7:35. The Lions are $2.25. The Pies are $1.67 with the line set at 7.5. Interesting game to assess, because the Lions are performing particularly well at the Gabba and have started the season well. They come off a disappointing loss last week to Essendon, and the Pies won a sort of scrappy contest against Footscray. Yeah. But I was leaning the way of Collingwood in this game.
Yeah, I like Collingwood. They travel well interstate.
Yeah,
probably the best travelling Melbourne side there is. So I've probably got them winning by about 4 goals, something like that.
Yeah, I had them. This is my first Monty of the weekend. Collingwood 1 to 39 at $2.20. I think is a good way to get your weekend started tonight. I think Collingwood should win comfortably, but. Hopefully in between that 1 to 39, I think that's the way to go. Next game is a Good Friday game at Marvel, 4:20 p.m. twilight game between North Melbourne and Essendon. North Melbourne are $2.30, and the Dons are favourites at $1.65 with the line set at just over a goal, -7.5 there. I didn't really have an opinion on this game. I thought it was hard to sort of line up the form of either team. North Melbourne coming off a confidence-building win against Adelaide, their first win of the year, and Essendon were quite emphatic against the Lions as well. I sort of struggled to have an opinion on this game. I thought maybe North might have been a touch overs, maybe the Bombers were a little bit short, but I'm letting this one go. I don't know if you've got anything. But
don't mind North. They play well at Etihad.
Yeah,
they played well all year, to be honest. I don't think they've been really that bad.
Bit stiff,
so in a couple of games.
Yeah, I think I can see how you could make a case for North being a little bit shorter than what they. What are they? 230. Yeah,
I don't know, like 210.
210, maybe even money like $1.08, like the same odds that Essendon were against Brisbane. That sort of $1.80, $2 mark. Because North obviously they do play Docklands fairly well, I'd say. And they'll have a point to prove, trying to keep that Good Friday time slot. I know there's much talk about the crowd and the fixture and all that. They'll be pumped up. But for me, I'm not getting too overly involved in this game. I'll sit back and watch it tomorrow night with our day off. Probably have some fish at Anonymous.
Maybe something like that. The standard,
Beautiful.
Yeah, love that.
Yes, so the next game is between West Coast and Port Adelaide. That's set for 8:10 first bounce Friday night at Optus Stadium. The Eagles are $1.24, Port Adelaide are $4.20 with the line set. I think it's a fairly generous line, but at 27.5. Interesting game. West Coast coming off a win in the Derby or the Derby last week, whatever the hell you want to call it, in a bit of an ugly sort of scrappy game against Fremantle. Port Adelaide coming off a disappointing loss to Richmond at Adelaide Oval. I think the market's got it about right. To be honest, I'd maybe have the Eagles a little bit shorter than what they are, but it's not a match I'm really keen to get involved in. If you maybe wanted to back the line and 27.5, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, when you're playing with those margins, like taking $1.85 there, I'd want the extra 10 cents. I'd want the $1.95. You've got minus 27.5 $1.95, and then you've got plus 27.5 at $1.85. Unless I had my own markets and had that plus 25.5 really short.
Yeah.
I can't see how you can.
You can't take that.
Yeah. I think the
You can
number
take it,
of I think the points are generous.
Yeah.
That sort of near 4 to 5 goal marker, because Port are playing okay.
Yeah,
They're
but
playing
if
good.
West Coast want to come out,
That's the thing as well. Like over there, if they get a run on, it could easily blow out.
60, 70,
I think the market's got it about right. I wouldn't get too overly involved. You haven't got anything
Nah, I got nothing
in that game, do you? No. Okay, so nothing there for the punters. But yeah, look, if you're happy to put West Coast down in your tips or something, go for it. But nothing from a pocket or punting point of view. Next game is between the GWS Giants and Fremantle at Spotless Stadium. It's a Saturday 1:45 game. The Giants are $1.13 and Freo are $6.50, with the line set at just over 6 goals of 36.5. Again, not really a game I'm looking to get involved in. Giants were fantastic against Geelong
they played awesome
at Cardinia Park last week. Real tough grinding win, and Fremantle were a little bit disappointing in the derby against West Coast. Although I think they did exceed market expectations. They got closer than most people think, or than what the market thought would happen. But this is a game I think GWS are $1.13, that $1.13, $1.15 range. I think sounds about right for them against Fremantle at Spotless. They should just get the win and continue on their merry ways. But no value there. You've got nothing for that one. Nothing there. Next game is an intriguing one between Melbourne and St Kilda at the MCG. 4:35 Saturday twilight game. The Demons are $1.42 and the Saints are $3, with the line set at 16.5. This is a
it's a tough one.
I don't know. This is the toughest. This is the toughest game of the round to.
Bit of form.
I think if this was at Docklands, the market would be a lot closer because the fact that it's at the G, I think, and it's Melbourne's home game, but at $1.42,
you can't get your teeth.
And how do you backseat? Like, who should St Kilda beat last week?
Hawthorn over the top. Come home.
That's Jesus. This is that's a tough game to assess. No other people drive themselves insane over footy betting. I think so. No. They lost to Freo the week before. Marginally, they only lost by within a kick or whatever it was.
Then I remember that.
This is a tough game.
One. I think it's I think I'd have it a little bit closer than the market suggests.
I think so too, but I just. St Kilda's form because of their last year was like it's tough. Yeah. I'm leaving this one alone.
I'll leave it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset from Oz perspective.
Sometimes the best tip is to not bet.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I would.
They're up and about the Saints.
I'd lean maybe towards the line.
Yeah,
16.5. I'd lean towards the line, but I'm steering clear of this game.
If Melbourne play their footy, they could come out and just blow them out of the water.
I'd really be interested to see what the market does closer to the game, like what happens tomorrow and Saturday morning. I'd really be intrigued because from what I gathered, I think St Kilda have been nibbled away and Melbourne have just got out a little bit. But it wouldn't surprise me if the market really firmed for Melbourne and they came into like $1.37 or $1.35. But nothing there for me. I'm expecting the market to go Melbourne's way.
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to firm for them, but not for me. Not for me. I'm not getting involved. But bloody good game. Next one is Richmond versus Sydney at Marvel, 7:25 p.m. on the Saturday. Tigers are $1.44. The Swans are $2.90 with the line set at 15.5. Richmond were great last week, winning against with their backs against the wall.
No superstars in.
No, they were outsiders. I'll get Dusty back this week.
Yeah.
They go into the game with winning form. Sydney were poor against Melbourne last week. No McVeigh as well as that sweeper off halfback. Prices seem about right, I'd say. Slight lean towards Richmond, but not a game that I'm betting in.
I think Richmond the line's a good bet.
Richmond the line?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got it in the multi?
I've got it in the multi for this week, so I think Richmond Dusty back. He's got a point to prove.
Yeah.
You know, they've heavily tagged in the past, 4 weeks,
Couple
3
of
weeks, you know.
definitely.
So I think he'll come out and might have a blinder this week.
Yeah.
Dusty.
Sydney are that team though, when you think that they're cooked.
They come
they just
back.
they just someone comes up out of nowhere, they just they make the little gear change.
That's
or they
right,
make the change in the side and bang. But I think market looks to have got it pretty right, I would say. Nothing for me, but Mars, you're saying the line.
The line for Richmond.
So line for you. Nothing from me there. Next game is a game that intrigues me from our own personal point of view, but from a betting point of view, I think there's a good bet here. Western Bulldogs versus Carlton, Marvel Stadium, 1:10 Sunday afternoon. The Dogs are $1.40, Carlton are $3.10. Very disappointing Carlton last week, obviously, but we're talking through our pocket. Both teams 1 to 15.
Got it.
Bang.
Easy.
This week, the bet for me is Carlton at the line at $1.90, and I think this is probably not.
Could be something new.
I reckon Carlton could be absolute. They could be the morals of the round this week. They could be the Monties of the round. So I'm not declaring it yet, although I did in class at uni, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that the market will firm for Carlton. They'll start under $3.
I think they'll start around $2.60.
I think they'll get the job done. But Carlton at the line is the way I'm going, and I'm going to cut this if Carlton do win to make it look like I declared them. I think they'll win. I
don't have them in my multi, but I'm going to say I reckon I'm pretty confident this week because the Bulldogs, they don't really have. Well, I went to the game last week against Collingwood and they just don't have a forward line.
They had that Norton fella complain.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He's the one that can get them over the line. For me, I found that the Bulldogs have been. They look like they're going inside 50 a lot and have scored.
Yeah.
Just a lot of their games have been. I think they had a game in the wet against someone, and then they scored over 100 against Hawthorn.
Yeah.
The first round.
Yeah.
But nothing.
This could be a 70 to 60 game, something in that region.
Typical Carlton.
Yeah.
Watch this space, but Carlton at the line. That's the bet. Forget about the 310. Whatever I said about that, but I think they could be moral. But
I don't have them, but just back them.
$1.90 plus 17.5 Carlton, I think, is the way to go. We won't dwell on that game too much. Next game is Adelaide versus Gold Coast. This is another really interesting game at Adelaide Oval, 4:40 p.m. on the Sunday. Crows are $1.20. It's a very short quote, and the Suns are $4.80 with the line set at 28.5. Do you want to take $1.20, Adelaide?
Nah, not in this year's form. I can tell you that. I thought this year, they'd show a bit of something, but from how they've been playing, absolutely.
To put it politely, they have been
disgusting.
Oh, they've stunk it up.
Yeah, nah.
Absolutely stunk it up. They've dropped Gibbs. He might come back into the side this week. Don't know. Jenkins looks like he's on the chopping block as well. Your best mate.
Yeah. Real good. Eddie Betts out of form. I think
he's playing his 300th this week actually.
Kick 12.
So that might be something to get up and about for the Crows. Eddie Betts playing his 300th. But I mean, look, Adelaide, Gold Coast. Adelaide seemingly play their best football at Adelaide Oval, but they haven't this year. They haven't won a bloody game there this year.
They won at SCG.
Bloody hell, what is going on? Look, I'd have it more towards the $1.30 mark for Adelaide. I think they're a better team than the Gold Coast.
On paper.
Right? On paper, I think they are.
The way they're playing.
The Gold Coast Suns just seem to be grinding away, getting those wins that they might not have looked like but they might not look like getting over the line with. I think they've won all their games by they beat Carlton by a couple of points. They beat St Kilda, or they lost to St Kilda by a point. They beat Freo by 2 points. Yeah. And who else did they defeat? I can't remember who else they defeated as well, but they're 3-1, I think.
They're 3-1.
They are. So,
they're playing good footy, and a Sexton can play.
Yeah. Nothing for me there. What have you got?
I've got the
something?
line.
Yeah, I
Gold Coast line.
nothing wrong with that. If I was. If I looked to get involved, it was maybe the line that piqued my interest, the Gold Coast way. But I mean, if Adelaide rock up, they could pummel 28 goals through Gold Coast if they decide to rock up. But intriguing game, that one. I think Adelaide will win. I don't think they'll be convincing.
Nah.
But I do think they'll win. But no bet from me in that game. Final game of the round. Another great game. Two traditional rivals here: Hawthorn versus Geelong. 3:20 p.m. Monday afternoon or / twilight football at the MCG. Hawthorn are the outsiders at $2.80, their home game, and Geelong $1.46, and the line is set at -14.5, and that's my bet, -14.5 Geelong. I think that's the way to go there. I think they're playing superior football to Hawthorn at the moment, even though they did Geelong did lose to GWS last week, but that's that's nothing to cut yourself up about. The Giants are a very, very talented football side, and Geelong have still got. They've sort of blood some new young players as well.
The young kids they're pretty good. And
Geelong have started favourites against Hawthorn both times they met last year. Even though Hawthorn did get the win in both games, I think Geelong at the line. I think that's the way to go. I think they're playing the better football.
Yeah, I'm playing with you
at the moment. Too. That's mine there. Have you got anything?
No, I got nothing.
In the multi, but
probably Geelong will win.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So just to wrap up, we've got my best bets this week will be tonight. We'll have Collingwood 1-39 at $2.20, and then we have to wait until Sunday and Monday for the next best. Carlton plus 17.5 at $1.90, and then Geelong at the line -14.5 at $1.90 on Easter Monday, that game there. And your multi-Mars, what do we got?
I've got the guy to kick 3 tonight or more.
Yep.
North Melbourne to win, Richmond the line, and Gold Coast the line of +28.5.
Yep.
And just going through a few teams here, I've got maybe a 3-legged multi because of upsets this year.
Yes.
North Melbourne to win.
Yep.
Carlton.
Yes.
And the Gold Coast.
So that's the upset multi.
Yeah, the Kiss of Death multi.
The Kiss of Death multi, okay.
Yeah,
so we've got Mars's multi, and we've just added a segment in here, the Kiss of Death multi. What was it?
So we got North Melbourne to win.
Yes.
Carlton
and Gold Coast.
Okay,
right. If you're that way inclined, what odds is Mars's multi?
So Mars's multi is 20. You get about $21 like that.
Yep.
And then if we do the other multi, we'll get around.
What do we get?
$35, something like that.
That's right. Yeah. We're not asking people to go out on a limb. A $5 or a $10 to keep you interested in the match. Yeah. Don't have to go too crazy.
Yeah.
And that'll wrap up this week. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on all the YouTube page, the social media pages, Facebook, Twitter as well. If you've got any questions, as per usual, just fire away. And make sure you try and share it on Facebook and Twitter as well as much as you can. Get your mates onto it. We've been doing well with the best bets this year, and the first multi we hit in round 1 still keeping us afloat, which is good. So that's all you need to do when you hit them at big odds.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week again for round 6. But until then, good luck with all your bets, and hopefully we can land some winners tonight and for the rest of the round. Good luck, punters. Cheers.
Okay.